good.
Okay, everybody, can you stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? James, would you like to say the prayer?
James Atterbury, pastor of Amargosa Christian Fellowship. Let's open in prayer. O Lord our God, we come before you this evening to request your blessing upon this board meeting of the town of Amargosa Valley. We seek your help in this meeting because of who you are, the all-powerful, awesome, and glorious creator of all things. You are God and we are not. And Lord, we thank you for this opportunity to gather here as neighbors of one another to work for what is best for our community. We pray that you would grant wisdom to our town board members, that they would make the right decisions for our town. And we ask that you would grant us patience and that we would always show love for one another, that we might work together for what is good. May all who speak here this evening speak carefully and clearly, treating others with respect as they would want to be treated. We pray as well that you would protect our volunteer firefighters as they respond to emergencies and help people in need. Lord, please watch over the deputies of the Nye County Sheriff's Department as they serve and protect us. And we ask for all these things in the power of the name of Jesus, through the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, James. Okay, approval of the agenda. I will be pulling number 4, 5, and 6. General public comment, up to a 3-minute time limit per person. Action will not be taken on matters considered during this period until specifically included on an agenda as an action item. I'm going to open it up for public comment. Anybody? Jimmy Thomas. Please state and spell your last name.
Jimmy Thomas, Thomas. Hey, I got a couple of attaboys, and one other thing I'd like to request, so it's not going to take long. Attaboy to Mike and Sam in the park for completing a project that I had going for almost 2 years. They got it done and got it done a lot easier than I thought it would be done. That's the first attaboy. The next one is the park. When I was sitting up there, the one thing that I wanted above all else was to have that park pop so that visitors, when they come in, strangers could come in and see that park and they'd say, wow, what a park. That park is now as close to popping as I've ever seen it. So congratulations on that, Mike. And the other thing is, you all know Pat Minchell. Everybody should, even if you didn't agree with her. She was here on this town board for years and not on the town board, and everything that she did was for this town. That is now in need, in my estimation, in need of all of our prayers and best wishes. And I just encourage everybody to do that. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you, Jimmy. Anyone else? Okay, I'm going to close public comment and move on to reports. Town office report. Mike?
Okay, so last month, the bills were not quite as much as normal. They did come back to normal this month. You take the 47,352.66, take out the annual contribution we make to the senior center, and we're at 17,352.66. So we're right under our normal 20 grand a month budget. So I would like to make a motion to pay the expenditures as presented for a total of 47,352.66.
I'll second that. Call for the vote.
Aye.
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 All right. Fire department report. Jesse, please state and spell all of your last names.
Man, at some point this joke is going to get old. Jessica Cattermas Walthour, Kadrmas -Walthour. I am your fire department admin. For this month, we had a pretty chill month. For our call volume, we only had 16 total calls. 1 fire, 11 EMS, 2 hazardous condition, 1 service call, and 1 good intent call, for a total of 16. All of those different categories, they changed the way my system is laid out, so now instead of the normal 3, I have like 5 or 6 or 7 that will be on these reports. Equipment, currently right now, all of our equipment is in good running condition besides Command 42. We found out that it has a power issue, possibly with the alternator, and so Scott and Joel are working on that. Personnel, we don't have any updates as of this time. In the month of September, we have 2 of our ride-along members that will be moving from ride-along into probationary status, depending on the vote. And that's it. That's all I got for you guys.
Thank you, Jesse. Appreciate you guys.
Yes, Trevor.
What is a good intention call?
A good intent call is a call where we are called, and it can be quite a few things. Most of the time, it's when we're called and then canceled, where we're like canceled en route. For the most part, that's what good intent is, or we're dispatched but we can't find the emergency, those kinds of things. That's what would fall under the category of good intent.
Anyone else have questions? Okay, thank you, Jesse.
Thank you.
Planning Committee. Just move it down and you can sit down.
Labossiere.
Can't hear you.
Oh,
Sorry.
hello, Labossiere. We've been busy. We'll show up later. We have a vacancy, and we don't normally have 3 meetings a month. So if somebody wants to be on the planning committee, we'd really like more people. Thank you.
Thank you, Lev. Tourism and Economic Committee. Mike?
No real updates on anything. The solar, the transmission line, don't seem to be using as much water as they were, so there's not all that traffic on the roads that we had for a while. And a number of things we are, Carolyn and I know are on the BEA board. We're very concerned about what's coming at us as far as data centers and crypto miners. We need to keep those out of our area. They do not provide any benefit to us. If you've been reading all the articles that are out there, costs are going up. They're not putting their end of the bill. And so we are working hard with management of BEA to see that we put things in place that keep that pressure off of us. And just another comment, you know how I feel about the state's energy department and their lack of support for rural Nevada. And we know that they give away 50% of the property taxes on solar. They give away 75% of the property taxes on data centers. So all this hoopla you're seeing in before I go down that road on my rant, I'll stop. But you see all this popular stuff in the media about data centers and what a great deal they are not. So we will do everything we can to protect our environment and our lifestyle out here and not have to pay for them. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Senior Center report. The man about town. He's been traveling all over. Dave Hall.
Thank you. Dave Hall, H-A-L-L, the Senior Center. Month of July, our counts were a little bit lower as far as people coming in because a lot of us have been gone, different places, going on vacation, and trying to find a cooler spot. But as far as our expenses and our income, was dead on the same. So our staff's doing a great job of making sure they balance what we're spending with what we're taking in and making sure everybody gets a good lunch and a great breakfast. And so you guys are out there, you know, it's really a good inexpensive place to come for lunch and breakfast. far as our grants go, it's grant time of the year for 2026, and all our grants have been submitted. And we hope that, you know, it's kind of a back and forth thing. We send in a grant that says, hey, this is what we like to have, and they'll come back, even though they know what they're going to give us, and say, well, this is only what you're going to get, and now you got to redo your numbers. So right now it's kind of a back and forth thing, but we have no definite numbers right now of what we're going to have or how much. But we are fully engaged with the people at Division of Aging on that. Our thrift store really had a great month this month. It's still not over yet, but we had some really high ticket items that came in as donations that people wanted. So we've really derived a lot of income from the thrift store over the last probably month and a half. So hats off to Judy and all the folks that take care of that, Gene Adams. They do a really great job of making sure that that stuff's available. And we've got a lot more people coming in now that it was kind of a slack period where people were a little bit leery about coming, and that didn't have anything to do with us. That's just the nature of the way things are in the country right now. But that's all really changed. We've had a lot of participation within the last few weeks from everybody in the community, so that's a good thing. Commodities, we had 93 individual families come in, and it was really a very, one of the better distributions we've had in the last 6 months. There was no stuff left over from, you know, suntan lotion and stuff that they had for events that they brought in and dumped on us. It was all really good stuff, and I think the community really benefited from it. I'd just like to hats off to the LDS Church in Summerlin, Las Vegas. They continually bring extra items for our pantry, and we have it available for anybody that needs help during the month, even though our commodity day is just once a month. We do provide food all month long for anybody that needs it. So keep that in mind and make sure that anybody that you know out there that needs help gets that help, and it's free. All you got to do is come in our regular business hours, and even, you know, if you know somebody in between, just give us a call and we'll make sure somebody's there to take care of that situation. So, as far as our projects go, we do have the footing done for the carport, and now that the weather's cooled off a little bit, I think we'll get busy and start doing the erection. And half a dozen people want to volunteer to help on that deal, so I appreciate that, and we'll get that going. Carolyn, again, thanks to Balanced Rock and Leeward for their, and you speak to them often. And, well, I've already sent letters out, but if you could just make sure that on a personal note, you thank them also, I appreciate that, because they helped support that project. So, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, for possible action, discussion, and deliberation, approve, amend, or approve or deny the minutes from the ABTV board meeting July 25th, 2025.
I would like to make a motion that we approve the minutes as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, call for the vote. Aye. Okay. Number 8, for possible action, discussion, and deliberation, to approve, amend, or approve or deny request for Amargosa Valley Schools for donation from ABTV to benefit the Amargosa Athletics and 8th grade class trip. I will make a motion that we discuss how much we would like to give and take it from there. Can I get a second?
Yeah, I'll second that. Okay, I have reviewed the numbers and stuff. We can still make donations this year. We cannot make the donations that we made last year, which were pretty substantial, just due to income, expenses, things like that. So we can, I think we make 2 donations, one to the athletics and one to the 8th grade trip for $1,000 each. And we can do that without it affecting our 26-101 base account. We have money in the other accounts that we can do that.
Then I'm going to amend my motion for discussion and make a motion to approve $1,000 payment donation to the Amargosa Athletics and $1,000 to the 8th grade class trip. Now can I get another second?
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to open this up for public comment. Anybody? Okay, closing public comment. Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye. Pardon me? Jimmy? Oh, sorry.
Again, Jimmy Thomas, CHOMAS. The motion you made sounds like you're going to do $1,000 to each one of those things.
Correct.
Period. But you're not leaving yourself an out so that if they need more and we can give more, you can give more.
There's no, they can come back if they need more.
Okay.
That's fine. This is to get them started. They're doing a lot of fundraising. I'm really proud of them. Okay, call for the vote. Let's try that again. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to skip on number 9. We're going to put that at the end of these, just for time. 10, for possible action, discussion, and deliberation to approve, amend, or approve, deny request for Cemetery Committee to remove David Reese as a member of the Cemetery Committee and approve Art Taylor as a new member of the Cemetery Committee. Can I get a motion?
Yeah, I make the motion that we pass this agenda item as presented.
I second.
Okay. Any public comment? Is Art Taylor here? He's getting drummed into the core. Okay, call for the vote.
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Number 11, for possible action, discussion, and deliberation to approve, amend, or approve and deny funding request for the middle school cheerleaders. They have been invited. I'm so excited for this. The middle school cheerleaders have been invited to perform in a nationally televised Christmas parade at Disneyland, and they are requesting a donation from AVTB. The reason they were noticed is because of all the games and things that they performed at last year, and some of these are 4th and 5th graders this year, right? And it's quite the honor to have our little school recognized. Ava, you want to come on up?
My name is Ava Prue, Proulx. I am the cheer coach and a whole bunch of other things at the school. I just wanted to say, so last year we went to Rosemary Clark, well, we went all over, but I brought the cheerleaders to Rosemary Clark, and they were really impressed with them, so they contacted the All-Star Productions, which puts on the parade for the opening day for Christmas season in Disneyland. And she, in turn, invited us to come, which is really something that is kind of costly for the kids, and we've been fundraising for it. We had do you want me to go into that?
Yes, please. I was going to ask, so go right ahead.
I figured you would. Yeah, so we've been fundraising, things like that. So we actually have 10 girls on the squad we actually have 2 3rd graders that are on, and they're really good. But mostly they're middle school, and we have a high school, a girl who wanted to do it, so she's been working with us as well. So I wanted to say things like this are not normal things that students would be able to do because they don't get invited to things if you don't get noticed. So these guys, when they cheered, we only had, I don't know, 12 cheerleaders last year, but they were pretty loud and they were proud. So they've been fundraising, so I can tell you exactly what we have if you want to know the exact numbers. Each student is going to cost $915 per student. That includes the transportation, the
Bus, the
it's a word I want to say, and it's on my paper, sorry. Performance fee, the fee to get into the park, the transportation, and some food for breakfast, because I was going to just buy breakfast things and provide that, because the hotel doesn't provide that. And because it's so much money, I only added a little bit for that, because I'm going to put my own money into that. So we had a spaghetti dinner, and we raised $1,020. I was pretty proud of them. And one of our parents works at the test site, and her boss actually matched the funds for that. So we got another $1,020. And we sent a whole bunch of letters out to different businesses around. And the only one we've gotten back so far is Valley Electric. They donated $750. So we have an upcoming taco dinner fundraiser from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock, September 12th, so please come. Then we're having, on the October 17th and 18th, we're having a booth at the car show to see if we can raise funds there, because I bought a 3D printer and we've been printing. So we still have a ways to go, but I think with all the fundraising, we're going to have a car wash and things like that. So we were humbly asking the town to donate so that we can get closer to getting the girls there.
We also sent a flyer in the newsletter. There's a QR code. If anybody wants to donate, even if it's $5, I just show support to the kids.
And with the QR code, just so you know, you don't have to create your own account. You can donate as a guest.
Or you can come pay me. No, I'm just kidding. It was worth a shot. It was worth a shot.
Yeah. Or send money to the school.
Yeah.
Let's check and just put what it's for in the memo line.
Thank you, Ava. Thank you for everything you're doing for these kids. It is
Any
really
questions?
appreciated.
Oh, yes.
Anybody? Can I open up for public comment? Anybody have any questions?
I want to hear that date and time again for the taco dinner.
September 12th at 5 o'clock p.m. right here in the community center.
I think there's also something in the newsletter.
Good.
For that.
Yeah, because we're
Yes,
trying
ma'am.
to have a cake auction as well.
Catherine Wright, new fifth grade teacher for Amargosa Elementary School, and I would just say, I'm sure a lot of you people have traveled and gotten to get out of Amargosa. This is a game changer for these kids.
Yes.
We have percentages that are astronomically high in homelessness and no availability to anything. They don't even have computers at home. So this is something that I believe is desperately needed for our community and for our kids.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, thank you, Ava.
Thank you.
Mike, we've discussed this. You want to make the motion?
Yeah. Again, I've researched the accounts and what we have, and I would like to make a motion that we, at this time, contribute $2,000 towards their trip down to Disneyland.
I will second that motion. I'm going to call for the vote.
All right.
Aye.
Aye. There we go. Partway there. All right. Now we'll go back to number 10. No, I'm sorry, number 9. For possible action, discussion and deliberation to approve, amend, approve, deny recommendations from the Planning Committee for changes to the International Property Maintenance Code. I'm going to take this one because we can't make changes to the IPMC. We can make suggestions to the county for their ordinance. So, and I want to get Lab up here because they've done a lot of work on this, and we got the summary, but we don't have anything to attach it to. So, and without Brenda here, I think we're going to postpone the vote until next month, but if you can enlighten us. Look at you. Yeah, pull that down.
If you're wondering, I'm on blood thinners and I don't think well when I'm standing up.
Or walking.
Or walking.
Sitting.
Chewing bubble gum, any of that crap. Is it working? Hello, can you hear me? All right. So the only consensus we had on our board was that we don't want this. Unfortunately, we don't got that option. So if you get a crap sandwich, the best you can do is put ketchup on it, and that's our attempt here. So the problem is this ties into, I'm going to quote them here, International Mechanics Code, International Plumbing Code, ICC Electrical Code, Uniform Mechanical Code, Uniform Plumbing Code, and National Electric Code. In my opinion, they could have stopped right there. That's good enough. Anything else you want to put in here on how to run the thing, that would have been fine too. But everything else they put in there after that is more restrictive than the things I just quoted. That's why they're in here. The problem is, wherever this was originally written, and I can't find where it was originally written, I'm going to guess Chicago. The people are on a fifth of an acre or less, and they were trying to start HOA rules for people that had houses long before HOAs came out. The county voted for this without even reading it, because if they did, they would have never voted for it. So we tried to take out everything that we could that wasn't involving public safety, or there was another thing. Health. Right, health and public safety. Take all that crap out that we could, that they tacked on there. So there's a whole lot that we removed because we can, because right at the beginning it states these things are being enforced. I'm going to say them again. International Mechanical Code, International Plumbing Code, ICC Electrical Code, Uniform Mechanical Code, Uniform Plumbing Code, and National Electric Code. We can't do nothing to those. Those are government documents. Right here it says we got to follow them. All this other stuff that they tacked on here is more restrictive than those. And we don't need to be more restrictive than those. Questions?
We're going to have more questions when we go through this with the book, and then, we'll circle back on in September, because we have to make suggestions. So when I met with the county and said, hey, this isn't working for the rurals, for sure, that was they said, well, we can look at your suggestions, because we can't change the code. So we can, what they look at as far as this book is diced down quite a bit from 150 pages. So that's what they use, the state mandates. But I'm going to say on the record that the county didn't want to do this, and they fought it. They just ignored it for the longest time. So we have a shot at making suggestions. I'm not saying they're going to turn a blind eye, but they're going to take a look and see what fits here.
We got you 7 pages.
But there's no reference, like take complete whatever out. We didn't have this, because I gave you the only copy.
When I got that one, there was 3 copies. So
Probably
Brenda
Brenda made.
Brenda had one, gave someone else, and gave me that one.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate your work on it. So I'm going to have each board member study each piece, and they can come back in September, and we'll take a look. Thank you, Lab. Okay. I'm going to open up for public comment. Anybody have a comment on this?
Do we still have an option? My name is Paul Lemus.
Spell your last name, please.
Lemus. Do we still have an option to not adopt it and just say we don't want to pass it at all and motion to not pass it and just get that on the record that for now we don't pass it, but if it wants to come back again next time, it can come to the table? Is that a possibility?
No.
Are we not doing a vote today because Brenda's not present?
We're not doing a vote today because we don't have enough grounds to figure out what the summary is. It's a summary without any reference.
Okay, to get more backup.
Well, we're going to have to, it's up to the board members now, because they did their job, they did what we asked, and their suggestions, as I said, but
yeah.
They removed on several parts whole paragraphs. We don't know what those paragraphs are. So we want to make sure that when we send it up with our suggestions, that the board concurs.
So the county's already adopted it across the county. When I read the ordinance, I noticed on page 47, there was a spot that said Pahrump Regional Planning only for the area associated with this. So now if we vote for it in our town, now we're automatically adopting those. I mean, I think that it would be better for us as a community if we don't want those to start getting on the record now that we don't want them, and we all say we don't want them, and then we can go ahead and try to rewrite it. But if we just keep allowing them to do it, see, the way it works in the bigger towns also, and if I got a second, the International Property Maintenance Code starts, and then comes the International Property Building Maintenance Code, the IBECC book. So then they tie the two together, and that's basically how they come after you to, you know, start filing charges, criminally prosecute people. And I don't think we're ready for that. I know I'm not. I don't support that. So I'm just saying it might be better for us to start getting on record that we don't want to do it than keep postponing it. That's my suggestion. Thank you.
Thank you. And just to clarify, when the county went over 50,000 population, it was mandated by the state. And the state was on the county's derrieres to put this in motion. And so, and it takes a lot of people, you know, code enforcement and all of that. They don't have the staff to do it. So they fought it for, not fought it for a long time, but they just said, we just don't have what it takes. So the RPC, that was, obviously that's where it belongs, but we have to abide by whatever. And it's by a complaint basis. I think we've had, what, 4, 5 now? And only a couple of them have gone very far because the people fix it. So, you know, that's the thing. They give you what to do, you fix it, and it goes away. So, okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, state your name.
Victor Easley, E-A-S-L-E-Y. I like what you said there, gentleman over there. It goes against our values as a community, probably close to 100%. It would be a financial burden for a lot of people, especially if we're targeted, like to be weaponized. And I'd like to read a quote by C.S. Lewis, that of all tyrannies, a tyranny sincerely exercised for the good of its victims may be the most oppressive. It would be better to live under robber barons than under omnipotent moral busybodies. The robber baron's cruelty may sometimes sleep, his cupidity may at some point be satiated. But those who torment us for our own good will torment us without end, for they do so with the approval of their own conscience. I strongly oppose this. If you guys could quash it, minimize the effect or whatsoever, that'd be a wonderful thing. You know, my wife and I lived 12 years under an HOA in Vegas, moved here 3.5 years ago. I don't think I had to change the light bulb or the weeds, but still, it goes against our moral fight. You know, we're independent, you know, free citizens, and we don't want this nonsense. So please do what you all can. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
So when you flip through those paragraphs that have been added to this that we took out, one of them specifically states you cannot have natural vegetation or non-approved plants and vegetation on your yard. Yet there's no list of approved vegetation on your yard. People from Pahrump didn't read this. They just voted for it. They should have gone through it and took out the chunks that, A, you can't enforce. How many people got a grease bush on their yard? I could. It cost me more than my house is worth to remove all the grease bushes off my yard, right?
I agree.
I say send this to the county as is, delete all this crap, and let them decide which ones to keep.
We have to make the references, we got to put it together so they, you know.
Yeah, I think what Matt was trying to say was our consideration was that we were looking for wording that would keep the litigation to the property owners coming from Nye County, but coming through your office. instead of being able for them to run it up like they do over the road. And then they put that on your taxes. You don't have to say.
That wasn't, so just to be clear, because I think we all agree with you here. Okay, that's not an issue. To be clear, those figures, it wasn't just adopted by the county. That is part of that code. And that's what they go by, the state goes by. So once we went over 50,000, that came in. And we, like I said, we just ignored it for a few years, quite a few years, 5 years. And then this county got in trouble. But it's just like everything else. What happens at the regional planning in Pahrump has no merit or bearing on what we do here, because it's rural. I mean, what we have is creosote.
If you see that in there is a stipulation between the town of Amargosa
I saw that,
and the county.
and that's what we're trying to suggest, that there's two separate things.
Exactly.
But again, the instructions were nothing with health, safety, and that. So that, I think you guys did a great job.
So it's section 112.4, the county left the fine numbers blank. They didn't put a number in there, there's no numbers set by the state. The county left it blank because they didn't bother to read it and look at it, and then they can put whatever fee they want later on. We picked a number to put in there for us, so that in our area, the fines can only be that high. Where in the county, there's no number in there, they left it blank.
It's
And it's
because
a fill in the blank area.
It's saying it's by the state, and it's $1,000 a day. I mean, after they've gone through all the falderall, $1,000 a day per
That's not written in there.
ticket. No, I'm saying in the IBMC. So, like I said, they purposely, the county was trying to fight it as long as they could. So, they've got a fine that's set by the IBMC, and I don't agree with it either. So, we can make suggestions. That's what we can do. That's all we can do. But we can make sure, we've been on record that we don't want this. Nobody wants it. Because the next step is zoning, we don't want that out there.
A new face, how about that? My name is Darrell Wade, W-A-D-E. I vote no on this. We do not want this here, and if they want to bring it here, I think there should be a moratorium on people that have been here and make this so that it happens to people 26, 27 on in there. The rest of us don't have to put up with this crap. And until we can have our board members know that we don't want it, the board members, in my opinion, are going to have to follow along with the county and everybody else. We have to stand up as a people. We have to make it known we don't want this crap. And until we do, we are going to get run over. So it's a choice that everybody needs to make for themselves. Do you want this? Or do you want to just give it to the county and say, oh, gee, I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead, have it your way. I don't agree. I moved here in 2006. I moved to get away from that crap. I don't want it here.
Yeah.
If we need to build something here, we have the talent. We have builders, we have engineers, we have everybody we need right here in this community. And we can draw off that. We don't need to have their rules and regulations come in. Although in 50 years, this will be East LA. That's just a fact. That's just how it's going right now. So for now, while we're here, you need to make a decision. You need to tell your board members, we don't want this, and vote on it that way. And those that do want it, go back to Pahrump or Vegas.
Ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake, no board member supports this thing. Not one of us want this. We have rules to.
Nobody wants this.
Nobody
But
wants
it's here. There's nothing we can, they're already prosecuting people in our valley because of this. This is already here. What we are trying to do is make sure that they can't prosecute people in our community without coming through these guys first. That's the way it should be, because they don't have a way set up properly to appeal what they're doing to the people that they're doing it to out here. And we put that in here so that they would have to, because they should have done that when they voted for this for the whole county. We're still part of the county, people. We can't pull ourselves away from the county and say we don't have to follow county rules. We have to follow county rules. But in this case, we can fix this so that it comes through our people, so that it's better for us than the people in Pahrump deciding how to screw us. We have to. And if we wait another month, and more people get screwed. I send it to them now.
Once we put the references together, we can. Again, we went on the record in 2019 that we didn't want this. And the county did as well. They avoided it like the plague till, what, 23, 22, something like that. And the code enforcement just comes in. But again, it's happening, and it's state. So we are trying to get something just for the rurals. But when the state comes in and does that, right now, we're having to go through it. Okay, so make no mistake, we went on record 6 years ago and continued.
Last time, THOMAS. Unless I interpreted Commissioner Keeney incorrectly, what he wanted us to do was to add, not change, but add to make supplements to the IPMC rules that would suit the people of Amargosa. Because I don't think the county commissioners really want to come out here and fight with us. There's probably too many rednecks out here that have a pretty good aim. But the code enforcement officer is the planning officer, planning head of planning department. That's the code enforcement officer. The one thing that I have against the whole IPMC is that that person has way too much power. He is appointed as king, arbitrator, judge, and executioner of the IPMC. Whatever he says goes, period. I would suggest that along with the changes that the planning committee has made, is we find someplace in there to set up Amargosa Valley Town Board up as the defining power for Amargosa Valley, and maybe even elect or appoint our own code enforcement officer to work with the code enforcement officer in Pahrump so that we can mitigate the high-handedness that we always get from them. So this is IPMC did not come from the state. It came from the feds, and it came to the feds from Europe. So that's where it came from, and it's already been implemented. When the county went over 50,000 people, it became solid cement-coated law.
That's the problem I had with it. Originally, it came from Europe. I can tell you exactly where it came from. It didn't come from Chicago or anywhere else in the United States. Trevor.
Dolby, D is in dog, D-O-L-B-Y. I just got a text that the county commissioners did not have a current copy of the IPMC when they passed this. And to your point, what's in there right now, until we amend it, is that the code enforcement officer has disconnect authority. He can disconnect people. It goes beyond an emotional issue. And we've had two people point out that this is not what Amargosa is about.
Correct.
I, for one, did not come to Amargosa because I loved living by a bunch of rules. Some of my neighbors have tried to enlighten me, but oh well.
We were on the board when this came, Trevor. Remember? Okay. And this isn't something new. Yes?
What you've got left, is there a way that we, the people, can get a copy of that?
It was a backup for the agenda item.
Yeah, it's in your backup. Excuse me.
It's up there in that table. It's up there in that table.
Recommendation, number 9. Copies of the IPMC? Yeah, that's it.
Come to the office, yeah.
There are copies of their suggestions on the table back there.
Suggestions.
This is the
The whole thing.
Let me find out.
Only
Okay.
the planning committee.
Because it's not a public book.
That's the problem. It's not a public book. I had to fight to get it, just to do this, because I met with them to fight this. And I took Brenda with me, because she's on liaison for the planning committee. And so this just doesn't work out here. We're not, there's no communication. Well, now the communication has started, but it's still, and what's unfortunate is you can see where people aren't even trying to, they're digging in their heels and they're like, no, we're not going to do it. But that doesn't work either. So you have to push forward. You got to try to do something. And it's a 4-month process, sometimes 5. So, don't be naive. Let's not get stupid. We just need to do what we got to do.
We can make the board ruling authority in our own code enforcement officer.
If it was that easy. We can ask for a seat on the panel that I'm not even sure exists. Right, but that's one of the things, if you're going to do this, follow all of it. In other words, have an appeals board. The town should have a board member sitting there, because when I have to get the commissioners together and have a meeting about this, and they don't want to do it either. But the point is, it's happening. So.
If you read the IPMC, where they talk about the appeals board, even if you go to the appeals board and the appeals board says, yeah, you're right, we did wrong, we're changing it. The code enforcement officer does not have to follow what the appeals board says.
Well, that's why we have 3 cases in court.
Yeah, so,
We're fighting at every turn, every corner. We're trying, so we're doing what we can do, and we're like, this is the next step. For them to say, give this to your planning committee, because they appreciate our planning committee. Give it to them, let them go through it, and I think the comment was it's going to take a year, but the reality is it didn't. They got on it because it's important. It's important to every citizen here. Yes, Len?
3 of them were 2 hours, 1 was 3 hours.
Yeah, and thank you. 3 meetings for the month, and that's stellar. I appreciate it. So,
All you people could have been there.
right, that's one of the things, we've been talking about this ad nauseum, and everybody's invited. Everybody can go. They can go to the planning committee meetings. They can come here. And I've said it many times, you guys get juiced up because we get you going. You come here, and when you figure out it's not in your backyard, we never see you again. So everything that's coming at us right now is in everybody's backyard. Whether it's solar, transmission, water trucks, you name it. And this is another piece of it. So we fight that at least 6 days a week. And I would love to see, we've got a good turnout because this obviously trips some, nerves. And that's good. But we've been working on it since 2019. Okay, so like I said, I appreciate all of you getting up and having public comment because that's what tells us what you want. But for some of you that have never, first-timers, that's great. We heard you. We agree with you wholeheartedly. Okay. Is anybody else?
What's to stop code enforcement from coming onto people's properties uninvited? What are our rights, private property a search. As far as I always understood, the building inspector, code enforcement had to be invited or on a call. That's always
The way,
fear that there's runaway power when you start allowing, this kind of stuff to occur. That's been my experience. Of course, I've been in construction for 40 years, so.
no, they don't, they make an appointment with whoever has been cited or complained about.
Because like a lot of times, communities like this actually end up inviting people like that by making a complaint against a neighbor, and then you're inviting that entity to come in, and that often allows them to grow and expand, and that's kind of...
And that's one of the things they can't do. So, I mean, and I've seen it now that it's starting to come in. They set an appointment, and if people cancel the appointment, they make another appointment. And they don't go on anybody's property. The pictures that I've seen have been taken from the street.
Okay.
Okay?
I don't think they should be welcome here. I guess it's my whole thing. I totally understand what you guys are trying to adopt. I totally get that. And I went over it with somebody earlier, and I kind of like what you guys do is to get local control. And keep it here in the valley. And I don't see any reason why. I think most of the people out here just want to be left alone, as far as I know.
That's why most of us moved. I left Vegas because it was an HOA. I left San Diego to go to Vegas. It's all HOA now. This is...
It gets expensive to keep driving away all the time.
Right. And now they're attacking us with solar.
Yep.
And, grid... never mind. Okay. There's a lot coming at us that it's just ridiculous. We are ground zero. Okay. Yes, Ms. Reese?
What do you mean they're attacking us because of solar?
So, everybody. I mean, you've seen the solar energy map?
Not talking personal solar? They're...
No. These are big utility solar. We have 15, if they go through, 15 projects.
Right, I understand that, but they're not going after personal solar power in the property.
No, not at all. No, we're still America. We're still, us. Anybody else? Okay, I'm going to close public comment, and we're going to go to general public comment, up to a 3-minute time limit per person. Action will not be taken on matters considered during this period unless specifically included on an agenda. Sir.
Since everybody's already mad at me, LABOSSIERE.
We're not mad at you.
I'm only bringing this up
We're just targets because we're the ones working on it.
Because Mike brought up the governor taking our solar money. We were here when the pot farm came back and asked not to pay taxes locally for a while. It's been 2 years. Is it time for them to start paying again?
You want to take that one, Mike?
Yeah, no, I am in contact with them and the DA on what we're going to do. Because every time I talk to John Mueller, I get the statement, they do employ 20, 25 people down there.
Yeah, well,
So we're kind of walking a tightrope with that. But, we are aware of it.
No, they got to pay. So, all right. No public comment other than that. I'm going to close public comment. Board member comments. None. Richard? No. No? Okay. Me either. I think I've said enough tonight. For possible action, set the dates and time for the ABTB meetings for September, October, November, December. We do this because of the holidays. So we have September 25th, October 23rd. Oh, so now Halloween's a holiday? Oh, sorry. Whatever. November 20th and December 18th. I make a motion that these dates be adopted for the next 4 months.
I second that.
Okay. Call for the vote?
All right.
Aye.
Aye. All right, passes. This